Hi, this is Joanna Cassidy, and we are watching Ken Boxer live.
Terry Ryken Realtor proudly presents Ken Boxer Live. From the American Riviera in Santa Barbara, California, it's Ken Boxer Live, Santa Barbara's one and only entertainment talk show. Let's welcome the host of the show, Ken Boxer.
Thank you so very much. It's very nice to have you here in the studio and at home. I'm Ken Boxer, and this is, of course, Ken Boxer Live. Thank you. I have to tell you, before the show went on tonight, I found out this is our 76th show. Can you believe that? 76. Amazing. Yeah, really. We've had some amazing guests, and tonight's no exception. You know her from the movie Blade Runner, as well as Who Framed Roger Rabbit. She has over 50 years in show business, in motion pictures and television, and she's won, and they just don't hand these out. She's won a Golden Globe Award, as well as she's been nominated 3 times for the Emmy and numerous other awards. We have tonight the very talented Joanna Cassidy in the house. And we'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
Ken Boxer Live is brought to you by the following sponsors. Palazzo Italian Restaurant, where people don't leave there hungry or thirsty. Gustafson Dance, meeting the highest standards in dance training. The Eagle Inn, a family-owned hotel near the beach in Santa Barbara. And now, back to our show.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Okay. Let me tell you, with us tonight is the very talented actress, Joanna Cassidy. Joanna is best known for her roles in the movies Blade Runner and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Her body of work is enormous during her illustrious career. Now, she's the winner of a Golden Globe Award, 3-time Emmy Award nominations, and also nominated for a Saturn and Screen Actors Guild Award. Let's welcome the very beautiful and talented Joanna Cassidy, everybody. Absolutely. So good to have you here.
It's great to be here.
You know, you've spent some time now in Santa Barbara. Today, yesterday?
I have, yes.
What did you end up doing?
Well,
what kind of things
well,
did
I have
the
some
first
friends
time?
here. I have some friends here. Andy Davis being one of them.
The
and we
director.
both know, yes, the director, producer. And Andy and I did 2 movies together. We did The Package and Chain Reaction. The Package was with Gene Hackman and oh my goodness, that young actor that just died recently, but Tommy Lee Jones. It was very exciting. I loved that. And Chain Reaction was with Keanu Reeves, who is just brilliant and adorable. And then, but anyway, today I went to the apple cider brag place. Here, I had the best time. And I'm telling you, if you look at the chickens, I said, how do you get perfect chickens like that? And the chickens were beautiful. And she said, we feed them Bragg vinegar. And I said, okay, that's it. Give me bottles. And bottles and bottles. And then my other dear friends here are from they have Cascade water. Do you know that water?
Uh-huh.
You got to buy it.
You're talking to Santa Barbans here.
Yes, I mean, this is our waterman here in California, and I've been drinking this water for a year now, and the bottles are beautiful. They're clear glass, mind you. So I'm a big fan of that. And
so this is your first time in Santa Barbara, so you welcome.
Well, not my first time.
No?
No, I've been here before, but I've mostly been here at night, you know, for some big event, and so I get picked up in town, and then I'm brought here, and I don't really stay and see it. I did spend a few memorable times out at the San Ysidro Ranch, which was wonderful, and I'm sorry to find out that it's
destroyed.
Not there for now. It'll come back.
Of course.
But I
And
see
we
you
heard-
have old-fashioned things
That's
here on
right,
your desk.
that's right.
What is that about? What is the Ken Boxer thing about on the air thing? Is that just a time that you just love? Or?
I just love it. Sometimes we use this sometimes when people get out of
Oh,
hand.
I
or
love
like that,
those things. Yes,
it's
I
an
love
old
them.
Steve Allen thing.
Yes, right.
I don't know if our audience remembers Steve Allen. I don't know.
Do
How many
you?
of you? Do you all
Do
remember
you?
this? Of course. Okay. But
Carl
I heard
Reiner,
that-
I mean, yeah.
I think you mentioned it before the show that you're considering moving to Santa Barbara.
I'm seriously thinking about
Yes.
it. I think I would
We'd
really
love to have
fit in.
you.
I think it'd be wonderful because it's got that great mix of grew up in New Jersey, so it's got that sort of small town, but the largesse and the entertainment of a larger town, New York, a little New York thrown in there. People walk
Well,
around,
you'd
you
be
ride a
great
bike.
addition. You'd be a great addition to the town.
I'd
We hope
become
you
the
come.
old lady,
Yes.
that strange old lady, and that eccentric lady in town.
I mentioned in the introduction you have like 50 years in this business.
Oh, not quite.
Not quite?
No, that's a little much, but
That's-
getting close.
okay.
But two
Close.
Canadian Emmys too
Okay.
for Call Me Fit. And don't forget 6 Feet Under. That was like a big deal for me.
Yes.
And I also must mention a couple things. Well, I don't know whether anybody saw it on Bravo. It was a scripted comedy, Odd Mom Out, that was on the last 3 years. And now I'm working on a show that's called Too Old to Die Young. And it hasn't been out yet. It's coming out, and it's about an LA detective, and it's a John Hawkes and a few other amazing actors, and it's really, really exciting.
And you also wrapped up a movie recently, right? Or you just did?
No, it was I did another bit on Life in Pieces.
Okay.
But I was mentioning James Brolin, and Brolin and I worked together 10 years ago. And we worked in Louisiana. It was very funny, in a little town in Louisiana. And we were doing the film, and we were in the historic district, and I was walking around, and I kept thinking, boy, I'm looking over at this one particular yard, and it was a beautiful home, some French colonial, with brick walls and things like that, and brick columns. And I said, boy, that yard needs me, because I love to do landscaping. And next thing I know, there was a for sale sign in front of the house. So I said, Jim, would you come over and look at this house with me? So, oh, sure, Joanna, yeah, sure. You know how he is. And so we went in the front door, and, you come into this big dog trot hallway, and he looks around, and he says, Barbara would love this. And I said, Barbara is not going to get it. So I bought that house 10 years ago, and I've had a blast doing it. So what do you want to talk about?
I want to
here?
talk about
Yeah.
early career start. Let's start
Okay.
with that. I'd read that in high school, you had this infectious laugh. It started in
I
high
was
school.
voted best dancer and best laugher, yes.
And we'll find out during this half hour
Okay.
about the laugh. But where did you started in modeling, correct? And okay, so how does it morph to acting? How did it begin?
Well, I went to Syracuse to study art, got married. He announced to me that he had accepted an internship in San Francisco. Okay, this should be interesting. And we drove across country. He was, internship, residency. He was already a doctor, medical school, blah, blah, blah. And we did a couple of poor years, and I really wasn't very happy doing that, scraping chicken necks to make a dinner out of it. And this is true. This is really true. And I just thought, people would say to me, gosh, you're really pretty. Did you ever model? And I go, oh, no, I've got a child. And why don't you go see Ann Brebner, who's got a modeling agency in San Francisco? And, so I did, and I didn't get to see her right away. Same thing that happens in acting. When you go into agencies, usually you give them your 8x10 and they go, they wrap it up, it's in the trash. But anyway, Ann was interested in seeing me, so I said, well, I've just had all this experience, and you should hire me. I mean, I'll do great for you. So, but anyway, and so I did. I did a couple of years of that, and then my ex and I separated, and I took my 2 children, drove down to LA, and I was doing a little modeling there. And one of the agents in the modeling thing said, you know, there's this casting person by the name of Joyce Selznick. Huge casting person. She said, and he said, she's doing a movie, why don't you get over to see her? Well, I didn't have an agent, so we had phone books then. You know,
Right.
and boxes, you could go in and close the door behind you. God, that sounds so old. I mean, anyway. So I did that. I went in, I got her phone number out of the phone book, and I called her up and I said, hi, this is Cassidy. And she said, oh. And I said, yeah, and I want to come see you. And she said, well, I guess you better. With a name like that, you better come see me. So I drove myself over there, and I walked in the door, and she was sitting there with a little cap on, and I said, hi, I'm Cassidy. She said, sit down here, and we'll see if you can read, see if you can act. I hadn't acted for beans. Anyway, I took the script, and I'm a good reader, and so she read with me, and she said, let's go meet the director. Met the director, and I guess they talked, and this was a movie with Bruce Stern and Walter Matthau, and I got hired. I got hired. I just look at me.
But Joanna,
How does that happen?
you've had, if I understand, you've had 0 acting training? You've never-
Kind of like zero.
At that point, you had
Kind of
nothing.
zero. Kind of like,
Okay.
you know, people, I'd sit in like a little group of people and we'd talk about acting and we would say how much, I didn't want to do it. I can't say that I wanted to, but I was just with people who did and I just thought, oh, I don't know. I don't know. And you know, in San Francisco, there's ACT and there was a comedy group there and all these people. I never had any great desire to go down there and.
Well, the path you took obviously was successful.
I guess it was some weird path, but here I am.
It's a great one.
You know.
Would you say Blade Runner was really the?
Yeah, I would.
I haven't said anything.
No,
yet.
I know, but I would. I would say that.
That
Yeah.
opened the doors for
But
you.
that, you know, it was many young boys have never quite gotten over that. Some of
our
you
floor
here,
director.
Ken, what about you?
All right. Well, we have a clip from that. Can
Okay,
you lead
let's
us
see
into
it.
Can you lead us into it?
Where Harrison's character, he's coming to find out about this woman that he's heard about through wasn't the internet, and he's looking for scales and things like that. So he hears this name Salome. Salome is my other character name when I'm on the stage dancing with a snake. So he's waiting for me, and he's about to approach me and ask me some questions.
Okay, let's
so here we
watch.
go.
Okay, Joanna Cassidy.
Excuse me, Miss Salome, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm from the American Federation of Variety Artists.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not here to make you join. No, ma'am. That's not my department. Actually, I'm from the Confidential Committee on Moral Abuses.
Committee of Moral Abuses?
Yes, ma'am. There's been some reports that the management has been taking liberties with the artists in this place.
I don't know nothing about it.
Have you felt yourself to be exploited in any way?
How do you mean exploited?
Well, like to get this job. I mean, did you do or were you asked to do anything that's lewd or unsavory or otherwise repulsive to your person? Huh?
Are you for real?
Oh, yeah. I'd like to check your dressing room, if I may.
For what?
For holes.
Holes?
Well, you'd be surprised what a guy would go through to get a glimpse of a beautiful body.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, Joanna Cassidy.
let me tell you a little story. We never shot the dance scene for Blade Runner. I came on at the end of the movie, and they ran out of money. They said, pull the plug, we're pulling it. And I had been rehearsing for 2 months, getting my darling, my snake, doing all this stuff. And Ridley had it all storyboarded, blah, blah, blah. So years go by, and I don't know, a couple things bugged me. It wasn't me going through the glass, it was a stunt woman. I still had the outfit, so 25 years later, I redid it. I reshot going through the glass. And they mixed it in, the special effects guys put it in. You'd never know the difference. Then when I was in, I'm not going to tell you my age when I did this, but it was just a couple years ago. Anyway, I never liked it that we never did the snake dance. So I went out I hired a snake handler. And I got 4 snakes because I did some photographs with 2 big yellow, those albino pythons. I did the snake dance. Not the way I would have done it 30 years ago, but it's on YouTube. So just look up Joanna Cassidy, Zhora, snake dance. And I asked R. Kelly if I could use his music, and he said, yo, go, baby, yeah!
You're still very much a working actress. Is it difficult for you? Here you've been in Blade Runner. You still have to audition. Is that difficult for you? I mean, young casting directors may not even know, your work and your body of work. Is it very difficult for you? I know that.
Life is difficult. Going into a room with young people who haven't checked out your resume is, I wouldn't call it difficult, I would call it annoying. Because, no, I shouldn't have to audition, but there are a lot of really big stars that still have to audition. And of course, a lot of the major actors, major players, excuse me, have come over from film, and now they're in, because television is so well written. It's okay, it's a life process. I've had a good time.
A good run.
And a great career, and it's still going. Isn't that crazy?
Well, what about, in the news lately?
In the nude?
In the news.
Oh, in the news.
There you go.
Gotcha.
In the news.
What?
The Me Too movement. You've been in this business a long time. Look at that smile. Come on, I've got to ask you this question.
Oh, I could tell stories forever. And you know what? I didn't want to jump on that bandwagon. I'll write my book someday when I'm ready.
Yeah.
I don't want to be mixed. Look. In my day, I used to laugh at guys that would do stuff like that. Like if I had ever encountered Harvey Weinstein and doing his thing, and I go, you gotta be kidding, dude, I'm out of here. I'm serious. I mean, let's be honest. What some, maybe most, women and men do this too, will do what they will do to get in that movie. Look, I could tell tale. I mean, I know it all. I mean, but I wasn't going to do that. So,
Okay.
wait a second. Let me go back a little bit. All right, never mind. You'll read it in my book.
Will it be in the, tell me, do you really have a book coming? Or is it just in the back of your mind?
I've started writing this book, but the way I feel about it, and this is really true, I'm not ready to write that book yet because I haven't gotten to that place where I'm going, oh yeah, now I'm ready to tell my story because now this is the story. This has been all the years that I've been building up to the stories, and now I can tell
Joanna,
it.
is there anyone you'd love to just get even with? Any one
What do you
person?
think?
There gotta be.
Oh
These years?
yeah, I got a couple.
Really? And this would be in the book, perhaps.
Absolutely, because then it won't matter. I guess I'm sort of waiting for that moment when it doesn't matter. There was a book written years ago called "You'll Never Eat Lunch in This Town Again," and she never did. She never did. She was done after that. I mean, and she died shortly thereafter. But and you know what? I don't want to do a tell-all per se, because I got to tell you, I've had so much fun. I didn't choose this life, but I guess somewhere, somehow I did. I know that, and this is a whole other subject matter too. Beauty is a huge subject, which I could talk about for days. And so being beautiful at one point, which is really a lot of fun.
You still are.
Oh,
Come on.
well.
Absolutely. You really are.
But
I'm just sitting I'm sitting just 2 feet away from you. I can tell. Everybody, this is a very beautiful woman. Very beautiful.
Thank you. But you know, and men and women go through this process where we, you know, we're a little bud, and then we flower, and we're at our pinnacle, and then the edges of the leaves start to get dark, and then they, one by one, the petals fall off, and then you're the stamen or whatever it is, and that's not bad. And you know, and then you sort of, your stem sort of starts to wither. It's life. It's nature. It's what we go through. We're humans, and that's all part of it. There's just so much more I want to live, and there's so much more I want to do in my life. So there you go.
You go, girl, right?
Yes.
There you go. We have another clip.
Oh, great.
We have another. Can you lead us into this clip?
Sure. This was a show that was created by Alan Ball. I was extremely lucky to be in it. I was basically, I did not have to audition, or I auditioned for Alan Poole earlier for another show. He loved me, remembered me, brought me in. I met Kathy Bates, who was the director on the show, Alan Poole, Alan Ball, and the 2 casting people. Right. I came in a room and I met them to play Rachel Griffiths' mother, and I was only hired to do 2 shows. I ended up being in the show for 5 years. So it was pretty damn nice.
All right, let's watch.
Okay.
Joanna Cassidy.
Are these big granny panties your something old, because they really kill the mood?
You can't see them through the dress, can you?
No, but they're hideous, sweetie. Would it kill you to wear a thong?
These are fine.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. I just don't want to wear a thong.
Did something happen? Is it the baby? What is it? What happened?
I want to fuck up my makeup.
Oh, honey, we'll just clean you up with a good powder. Here, I've got some Chanel in my purse.
I don't want to be late.
Honey, you don't have to worry about everything going right anymore. That boat has sailed. You know, it happens all the time. So many of my friends, Joni, Celia, Aunt Mary before she had Deb, even Teresa Hines Carey had one. And God knows, she looks terrific.
Aunt Mary did?
I'm telling you, more women have miscarried than they have masturbated with a dildo. They just don't talk about it. And then they have a baby, and they're fine, sweetie.
Better change this fucking pad. If I get blood on this dress, I'm gonna kill myself.
Everybody. Oh, yeah. I have to tell you, my 5-year-old daughter, Dagny, just watched the Who Framed Roger Rabbit last night.
Don't forget, don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead.
That's right. I've got to.
Yeah,
yes.
That's right. That's the other one.
In fact, we had one of the actors from the young boy from that. What?
Keith Coogan?
Yes, he was here.
I love Keith.
Coogan
Yes,
was
I
here.
love him.
That's
right.
Yes, he was a great guest. But that movie is just every generation has seen it since
I know,
it's been made.
I know, it keeps going.
And how did you get that? How did you get the part?
Don't Tell Mom?
No.
Oh, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Exactly.
Well, it was very shortly after Blade Runner had come out, and come on, everybody wanted to work with me then. I'm not kidding.
Cliff would, again. Our floor director, Cliff would. He would have gotten in the business just after seeing that movie.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
Okay. But how did you, do you have to audition, or they just come to you and say, we need you?
I actually did audition. I didn't audition with Bob Hoskins, but I read for the director and Robert Zemeckis. Doesn't he live around here?
Yes, he does.
Okay, and
another reason why you could come.
see, I have to
and
move
live
back here.
Yeah.
And we got along great, and I loved working with Bob Hoskins. That was just wonderful.
What
an experience.
It's quite a movie. When you look back on it, do you still watch it from time to time at all? That movie?
Yes, actually I do. I'll pull it out, and I usually sit down on the couch with friends of mine, and I say, I'm ready for my close-up now.
I mean, it's an iconic movie. I mean, it's
It is.
my
It
daughter.
is really, because it was before digital anything. Each one of those frames was hand-drawn. And
When you were doing the movie, did you know it was going to have that kind of effect on the American pop culture?
no, actually, that movie I didn't. Blade Runner I did, but because there was so much chazarai, as some of you may know that word, going on behind the scenes, and Robert Zemeckis was really cool. I have to say, you know, he was a laid-back guy, and so he'd be on that phone, but never let the cast know that he was like going crazy. And they're all telling him, we're pulling the plug, it's too much money, this is just too nuts. And he hung in there beautifully, and it was a fantastic experience. 6 months.
We only have about 40 seconds, but I wanted to find, and it's going by really fast. You ever think of directing? You have so much.
Yes, I do, actually. I'm kind of, I don't have anything, I'm on this list of directors for this guy that does quick films, and I do, because I'm a photographer as well, and I think I have a pretty good. Go on my website, officialjoannacassidy.com. Check out my photographs.
We'll have that right in the lower.
Okay.
Right there. It's going to be that. Yes, everybody. Let's give it up. Come on. To have you here. All the way from Los Angeles. Thank you so very much. Very nice to have you.
Great,
well,
thank you.
Everybody, that's our show for tonight. So for our guest, Joanna Cassidy, and our director, Nick Ferretti, and for the entire KBL crew, I'm Ken Boxer. Good night, everybody, and thank all of you in the studio. Thank you.
Ken Boxer Live is brought to you by the following sponsors. Terry Ryken, your broker with a personal touch for all your real estate needs. Gustafson Dance, meeting the highest standards in dance training. Palazzo Italian Restaurant, people don't leave there hungry or thirsty. The Eagle Inn, a family-owned hotel near the beach in Santa Barbara. Petrini's Family Restaurant, La Quinta Inn and Suites. Taffy's Pizza, delivery, pickup, or dine in. Country Catering, Meat Market and Deli. Lido's Takeout. Jack's Bagels and Bistro. The Ken Boxer Live musical theme composed and arranged by Mr. Michael J. Leslie. From all of us at Ken Boxer Live, I'm Baron Ron Heron. Good night, everyone.